Out of the blue of the western sky comes Sky King, as we say here in the West.
Hey, happy Friday. Oh my God. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where's my beer? Oh, I don't have it yet. Anyway, it's Friday. Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mark B. Lee here with my co-host Rose Marie Rose and Jerome Connor. We are back. We are back once again for Classic Television Smackdown. So hopefully you guys are watching tonight. If you're not, that's okay. We'll just come in the middle of the night and hide under your bed, give you nightmares. We are back. So I am hearing background noise somewhere.
That was me. My bad.
Cut it out. Anyway, so we are all back again. This is a busy weekend, by the way. Of course, with today's show, Classic Television Smackdown, we have tomorrow's show. We have Saturday morning cartoons, and of course, Saturday evening show, Roses and Reactions. It is a busy weekend, and when we're in rotation and each one of us gets, you know, a turn to do classic television and Saturday mornings back to back, it is hectic. It is absolutely hectic. So good evening, Cheryl. How are you? Lovely. Hopefully you enjoyed Farpoint, because I know you were there. So I hope you had a great time. Rose and Jerome, how you guys been? Tell me something new before we get on with today's program.
Go ahead, Jerome.
No, I'm gonna mute him since he muted himself. Whoop.
Yeah, ladies
here
first.
Okay, well, I got to see Mark for the first time in several years on last Saturday.
I met the Hobbit.
Yes, Roses and Reactions went on a road trip.
And, oh my God!
And on the way back home, we ran into Mark and Garrett from HWWS. Had a great time.
Garrett's mom. Yep.
Got to see the whole family. It was really sweet and nice, and so I was really grateful to be able to spend an hour with them. So that
was interesting,
really
because the first hour or two, no, actually we were there for 5 hours, I think, before you showed up.
Right.
Wow.
I'm ignoring the cat behind the curtain.
Yes.
Pay attention to the cat behind the curtain.
It was fantastic to see you. It's fantastic to see Rachel. So sweet, so lovable.
Oh, I want to meet Rachel. I so want to meet Rachel.
She's so tiny. And it's when they say that television puts on 10 pounds, well, yes, Rose, you're a lot thinner in real life. How's that? Is that a compliment? I don't know. Not saying you're big or anything, but I'm just saying.
I'm a little, you know.
You're fine with me, believe me. But it was great to see you guys, and hopefully we got a lot of people watching already tonight. I see popping in. So, how about you, Jerome? Go ahead and tell me a story.
Well, I happen to announce that my wife passed her first Medicare billing exam, so she is now certified to be a Medicare billing for what, hospitals or doctor's office?
Coding for both.
Coding for both the hospitals and doctor's office.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
And you tell her if she calls my house, I'm a killer.
Okay. Yeah. So she's gonna take there's 2 other tests for 2 other things, and we're just gonna cover the bases and spend the money, and she's gonna get certified on all of it, so she can find a job somewhere doing it. And I'm very proud of her.
Please tell her that I've already renewed my vehicle warranty, so no need to call.
No need to call for about the your warranty.
And you know what? There's a lot of memorization on those CPT codes. I know a little bit about it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and she did a really good job. She went next door to the new house we're going to be living in, and she spent some time in there doing all the tests and stuff. And Gwen and I could not be prouder.
Are you going to get a quiet room to do the show in?
Yes.
Good. You need an office.
It's going to be. We're gonna have an office / library, so you'll see lots of books behind us and everything else. So,
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
right.
we're in the middle now of trying to get rid of everything from Pop, but our biggest problem is trying to find a place to get rid of his clothes.
Yes.
We don't want to just give it away to like Savers up here or whatever. We really want it to matter, because of what what my dad was and everything. And
Understood.
So we're trying to make it, but we have a little issue in the family about how fast we're moving and stuff like that. So.
All right, let's get on with this show tonight. We got a big one tomorrow. This show is in the hands of Jones for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He has something he'd like to share with all of you, so take it away, Jerome.
Okay, so as you all know, superheroes are everywhere. We've got Batman got released this week. The MCU is basically the dominant theme show movies in the last 20 odd years, including the shows on Disney Plus. But everybody thinks that before Batman with Michael Keaton and then Blade with Wesley Snipes, there was no superheroes. Well, they're wrong. There were a number of superhero films and TV films, which we're not going to go into the TV films on tonight, but we're going to talk about the television shows themselves. There were 6 television shows of superheroes pre-1982. Okay. And so we're going to go back to those thrilling days of yesteryear, and we're going to talk about those wonderful shows that influenced the world we know today. So any thoughts about what we're going to see today, Mark and Rose?
We're going to see some men in tights. I can't hear you.
I think he muted himself. He's scratching his throat. I think, he's got laryngitis or something. We can't hear you, Mark. All right. No, we cannot hear you, Mark. Okay. So well, Mark's, hey, it's another tech problem here on the show. We can't have a show.
I was slurping up my noodles, so I muted to be polite. But since I pissed all of you off, let's continue.
All right. So let's start with the very first superhero show on television. There were lots of reruns of Saturday morning serials that showed up for it, but this was the first of the, shall we say, original content. So go ahead and run that first clip for me there, Mark, will you?
Oh, I have my pants down.
That's fine. You can pull them back up. Start at 8 seconds, by the way, because I don't care about the people who put this video up.
All right. Well, I got to start close to the beginning and then go to 8 seconds. So let's wait for it to pop up. Come on. And 8 seconds.
There you go.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Hey, I paused this. Are we getting any hesitation?
Yes, we are getting lots of it.
Got it. Can you go ahead and talk? I need to reopen this up in Firefox,
go ahead. I remember.
Totally forgot.
I remember we did this also. Was also You Got to Drop Us. I remember when we did a show last week that Garrett had you drop everybody that was on there, and then it ran without any hesitation.
Hold on. You guys go ahead and talk a little bit.
Yeah, I'm talking. So,
and I will see you guys shortly.
So, Rose, did you ever actually see The Adventures of Superman?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Okay.
I did. It played on television like around 10 o'clock on the syndicated affiliate when I was a kid.
And
so in the summer, I got to see this in the summer because I was in bed, for school time at that time. But in the summers, I stayed up and watched the show. I loved this show.
We also got it. We also got it in the afternoon here on the affiliates. They were running
I did
it in the
not.
afternoon after
It was
school.
all at night, and it was wonderful. That was probably my first introduction to superheroes, actually.
Yeah, and it was a lot of people's introduction. Sadly, the death of our star George Reeves is to this day a matter of controversy. Did he commit suicide or was he murdered? And if you go watch the movie Hollywoodland, where you got it's a really good thing. And the kid who played Jimmy Olsen later this season, not the very first one, but the later one, said that Noel, the woman, Noel
Neal.
Yeah, she had told him that she believed firmly that he had been murdered. So yeah, there was a huge controversy about that.
I actually got to meet Noel Neal. She was one of the first people I ever met at a
nice.
Megaton. Yeah.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
That's too bad. Okay, all right. So let's try this again. I'm in Firefox now. So let's try this one more time and see how this works.
Okay.
Whoops.
So
gotta throw this over here. Keep talking until it pops up for me.
So this was the first hero to get a television show. So instead of a network one, it was sold in syndication right from their word go. Kellogg was the sponsor. It went for 3 seasons that were filmed in black and white, and then the rest were in color, which was 6 seasons total. John Hamilton died during the at the end of the season 6, so that's part of the reason why they also canceled the show. John Hamilton played Perry White.
Wow.
Yeah, Great Caesar's Ghost.
Great Caesar's Ghost. I'm ready when you are.
We did a whole episode about that.
Yeah.
And 8.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
You gotta love that. I mean, that was just the ending. It was the music and all that. But you gotta admit that alone was such a catchy opening that to this day it's still how we identify Superman. There's a controversy going on right now that DC got rid of the part that says American Way.
Yep.
And people are all upset about that because of how much of an icon this opening was.
Yeah, I'm kind of against that as well. Sorry, my political standings is that I am a true-blooded American and Superman was created in this country. Understand he's a world figure, a figure for world peace. I get it, but
I have to agree with Mark on this one. I think it should be truth, justice, and the American way.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing: is that this show, like I said, it was fabulous. They had different themes and influences throughout the entire 6 seasons. Some of it was, we went for gangsters. Some we were a little more science fiction-y. They had a whole lot of plans for the next 2 seasons. George Reeves was directing the later series. By the way, that Superman outfit you see is made out of wool. Yeah. And every season he would go and he would carefully clip the Superman logo out and he would give it to kids, sick kids in hospitals. And he would have a ceremonial burning of the Superman uniform.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was very glad about it.
I'm sure a lot of people were glad about it.
Now, just a side note, George Reeves also was in Gone with the Wind.
Oh yes, he was part of one of the twin brothers.
Yes, he was. Yeah. And like I said, his hair was starting to bleach out and go gray. They had to dye his hair near the end, and basically he was turning into a fairly good television director. And it looked like that was where direction his career was going to go. But then he died, and that was it. Now there was talk after his death that they were going to basically do the Adventures of Jimmy Olsen, but the actor basically said, "Not a chance. I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, there was just, there's just so much about this story. There was so much drama with this one show alone that you could fill an entire hour of our show with it.
Awesome sauce. Yeah.
So this was one of my favorites growing up as a kid. So, yeah. Okay. The next superhero Well, that took almost 10 years to show up again before we got another really good superhero. So please run the next clip, please.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So for almost 20 years, this was what people knew as Batman. Okay. This was it. If you said Batman, Adam West and Burt Ward was who people thought of. Okay. There was no other Batman. There wasn't Michael Keaton. There wasn't Clooney. There wasn't, Nolan's Batman. This was it. Okay. So it was also a who's who of Hollywood royalty who were who guests showed up as the villains. Little side note: anytime Burgess Meredith wanted to be on the show, the writers and the director and the producers all had scripts ready to go. They loved Burgess Meredith that much that they were willing to give him anytime he wanted to come on to do the Penguin.
I loved him as Penguin.
Yeah. Now there was also the Bat Climb. Okay, you remember the Bat Climb? Throw up the bat and they're climbing up the thing, which, by the way, I almost killed myself trying to imitate as a kid. Didn't know how they did it. The cameos, there were 13 different cameos. Again, the who's who of Hollywood royalty. One of my personal favorites was when Zsa Zsa Gabor showed up as somebody, the Queen of the Diamonds.
Yeah.
Joan Collins was the Siren. Yeah. That was a great one. But I do have to ask this. Mark?
Yeah.
Favorite Catwoman?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Was probably, believe it or not, Lee Merriweather.
Really?
Yeah, I know who you're thinking I was going to say, because who you thought I was going to say has incredible sex appeal. But Lee Merriweather, only because she went into the motion picture as well as Catwoman, I still kind of stayed with her. Eartha Kitt was perfect.
She had the voice.
Well,
she had the voice.
And that's what turned me on.
It turned me on too, man. I'm like going, wow, man. Yeah, but you got to admit.
I can't even, that's why I can't speak Spanish. I can't roll my R's. It's crazy. You can forget it. Let her do it.
But you got to admit, Julie Newmar had the legs.
My God, did she have?
They just went on forever.
They went to her forehead.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Yeah.
So that's the important question of the 66 Batman was, who was the better Catwoman?
Hold on. I have to ask you then.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite theatrical Catwoman?
Right now I have to go with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Okay. I Anne Hathaway was pretty and everything, but I just didn't get the Catwoman vibe from her. This new one, I like her, but she didn't feel like she's gotten into the Catwoman vibe yet. She's
not too much on the I was going to say the criminal level, but the criminal level as in what do you call it? A thief, a cat thief.
Yeah.
Thief, whatever.
But she hasn't gotten that vibe as an identity yet as a Catwoman. Right now she's just, whatever. It's early.
Yeah. But it's not much of an origin story.
No.
Not much but it was the first outing for a Catwoman in
I agree.
This actor's career, put it that way.
But for me, Michelle Pfeiffer just oozed Catwoman on that in the theatricals.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Cool.
Let's see. Rose, who's your favorite villain?
My favorite villain?
Oh, yeah.
From the TV show?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have to go with Burgess Meredith as the Penguin.
The Penguin.
But Cesar Romero's very good too. So he did a really great Joker.
Cesar Romero.
Oh, Cesar Romero said the greatest laugh.
One of my favorites was either Roddy McDowell as the Bookworm.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And Victor, whatever his name was, as King Tut.
Oh, that was Victor. Bruno.
Bruno, yeah. I loved that character. It was so much funny because the only reason he became a villain is he got knocked on the head.
Yeah.
He's suffering from a concussion and he becomes a supervillain.
Yeah, I remember that well.
Now, a little side note about this. You saw the name of the producer, Frank Dozer. Okay.
Yep.
Now, his nephew is Alan Dean Foster.
Oh,
really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Now, I got to meet Alan Dean Foster at a convention, and he told the story of how he met Julie Newmar on a Sunday morning when he was staying over.
Yeah.
Wow. And he talked about that.
Staying over where?
At Frank Dozer's house.
Oh, okay.
Alan Dean Foster was in the middle of college. He went to his uncle's place to stay over the long weekend because he couldn't stay in the college. And he was sleeping in the library, and she sort of totted in her nightie, grabbed a book and taught it out. And that would do it for me too. I totally get it. But and he talked about how nice she was to him. She was incredibly nice to him. But what's interesting is he talks about how he got, sort of got to see behind the scenes, behind the curtain and all that. Again, show itself had tons of stars and celebrities that showed up as villains, as supporting characters. It was just a who's who of the 1960s. Okay.
Awesome.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Now, at the same time, there was another show. Please run clip 3A, Mark.
Uh-oh. I hope I wrote it down as 3A. Stand by.
I hope you did too.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I gotta say this before it starts. I love this show.
I do too.
And here we go for you. 3A.
For the Green Hornet, his aide Cato, and their rolling arsenal, the Black Beauty. On police records, a wanted criminal, the Green Hornet is really Britt Reed, owner-publisher of the Daily Sentinel. His dual identity known only to his secretary and to the district attorney. And now, to protect the rights and lives of decent citizens, rides the Green Hornet.
Okay.
I love this show.
By the way, the music is called "The Flight of the Bumblebee."
Of the Bumblebee, yes.
Right. Now,
pimped up though.
Yes. So let's get one thing straight. This is the show that made Bruce Lee a star. Okay. In Hong Kong, when it aired, it wasn't called the Green Hornet. It was called the Kato Show.
Of course.
Okay. Right.
Course.
Okay. So this was the Green Hornet is actually a spin-off radio show of the Lone Ranger.
That is correct.
He is descended from the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay. And the movie serials. Yeah. Wow. This was done by the same people who did Batman, but it was significantly less campy and much more serious.
Yeah.
And this was the first experience for Americans of true martial arts.
Kung Fu.
Because of Bruce Lee and Jet Jung Dong or something like that. I can't pronounce it. But so this was actually such an impressive thing. My personal favorite is how they hid the Black Beauty.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It was in the garage. They twisted a wrench and the car flipped over.
And they had clamps right on the freaking wheels, and it was like, oh my God, that's ingenious.
Yeah, it was great. Now, I spent 2 years as an auto mechanic. Okay, I can tell you right now, never would have worked because of all the fluids in the car.
I was thinking the same thing. Where'd the oil go?
Oil, the radiator would leak like crazy. But it was such a cool idea, and it was almost electric because you weren't supposed to be able to hear it. It had these green headlights, rockets. I mean, this was a car you wanted more than the Batmobile.
Yeah,
the Batmobile was flashy, but But the Black Beauty was the cooler of the two cars.
It was a pimp mobile. If you
man.
A gangster ride, man.
And what was really cool also is the Hornet didn't use violent guns. His gun was a gas gun. It was just filled with sleeping gas. And then instead of throwing batarangs, they threw these things, and it was basically looked like a bumblebee, that hit like a dart.
Yeah.
So this was such a cool show, and unfortunately, it only lasted one season. Okay, 26 episodes. They're hard to find. I don't know if they're available on DVD. For a while, one of the cable movie channels was running it for a while. If you get a chance to watch it, just go watch it. If nothing else, the secretary is smoking.
True.
Wendy Wagner was hot as can be, but I'm telling you, this was a show worth your time.
Wait a minute. Okay. Isn't your wife nearby?
You're right over there.
I didn't see anything get thrown across the room.
No. Because she was saying, lovely things about other people. So, we're allowed to look,
Yeah.
But like, come on, 1966, like Wendy Wagner's around to look at me. Okay. But, this was a show that this was like one of the first real serious ones. They had some silliness in it, but this was kind of like the first real adult superhero. Other than like the Lone Ranger, this had serious talk. They talked about corrupt cops in this. They talked about gangsters who would kill people just because they witnessed. I mean, this was the stuff of police dramas in a superhero mode. And so this was your first serious adult film, and then they ruined it with that stupid movie that Rogan did or something, which was, I'd recommend. Yeah, the less said, the better. Now, Rose, have you ever seen The Green Hornet?
I have seen bits of it because I remember it being on when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the theme song well because they used it in Kill Bill.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite films. And Quentin Tarantino was I guess he was really inspired by.
He's a huge fan of The Green Hornet.
Because he used that entire song when she's first lands on Hong Kong.
Yeah,
and then they also talk about a Kato mask too. So there's like a couple of references.
Yeah, and that was the Kato mask was done by the 88 Axis.
Yeah, Crazy 88. Yeah,
the Crazy 88s. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, now let me show you how much silly it was. Okay, the problem was this: the Hornet wasn't popular. Batman was incredibly popular. So what do you do in a situation like this?
You bring them on the show.
You have a crossover. Please, Mark, please run 3B. Okay.
Now, quiet, please. We have here, ladies and gentlemen, that famous stamp from Egypt, the inverted Blue Nile.
Wonderful!
Mud
Scum. In that phony disguise. The Green Hornet just came through the surface door, and the Cape Crusaders through a window.
I'm ready.
Let's make our move.
The Green Hornet!
And the Cape Crusaders.
It's a good thing those guys are on our side, even though they don't know it.
It's a good thing those guys aren't in town every week.
What do we have here? A Mexican standoff? A dead heat? A photo finish?
All right, stand back there. Come on, now make way. Come on, stand back.
If it isn't the fuzz and the pink hostage, she'll come in handy. out that window, boys. We'll come up behind them.
What are they, Spider-Man?
Miss Fingston, permit me to introduce my... Don't move, Commissioner. No, you, Chief. It's Gum. Robin, if anyone makes the slightest move, Miss Pinkston will be a dead pink duck. All right, boys, out with the loot. Batman can handle this. Let's go.
Wow. It's classic. It's just absolutely classic. Classic.
Now, the rumor is that Burt Ward was terrified of Bruce Lee because of how fast Bruce Lee moved.
Yeah.
Okay. And that Bruce had to reassure him several times that he wasn't going to hit him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that for years. Okay, about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they had another crossover where the Hornet actually came out of the window during one of the bat climbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the Hornet was it's so cool. I really loved the Hornet. So I don't know what your thoughts are on all this.
Well, I think I'm sorry, Rose. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, I didn't really see too much of it growing up. I remember the show because my parents really liked that show. They talked about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to see enough of it to really say. But it looks like a cool show.
My dad loved the Black Beauty just like I did.
Yeah. I adored that show. I watched it as it debuted. I was entranced by Bruce Lee. Of course, I started off. This was, I think, before Enter the Dragon came about. And I was into Kung Fu too back, when all this.
Oh, we were too. That was a big thing in the 70s.
But it actually wasn't in the 60s. It started. Well, it was in the 60s. I would say about 68, 69 is really when it popped up heavily. But thanks to Bruce Lee. But I just absolutely love the Green Hornet, and I love this episode of Batman. Sorry, I mean to play again. My bad. I love the fact that there's a team up of good guys. Of course, one team didn't know the other was good, but it was just fabulous. I totally adored it. Green Hornet. Hey, real quick, once again, guys, if you're watching and you're not in our chat room, you need to be in our chat room. That way you can go ahead and post your comments, and we'll do cool things like this, which is post up your comments if you have something very exciting to say. We will put you up on the screen as well. So once again, this is our Classic Television Smackdown episode where we're talking about superheroes from 1982?
Pre-1982.
Pre-1982.
Pre-1982. That's right. Pre-1982. All right. Go ahead, Jerome.
All right. So that was it. Batman ended in 68. Hornet ended in 67. And we didn't get anything until 1975.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. No. Now here's the problem I want you to remember. The first female superhero was actually on Batman.
Oh, yes, of course. There's
Batgirl. Right. Yeah. But she doesn't get the credit that this next one does. So
I may need to leave the room. This destroyed my puberty.
Same here.
It got me right into adulthood. Okay. And the fact that I know that she wanted me bad. Well, I'm going to show you. Remember, every time she's looking at the camera, she's looking at me. Just you guys remember that.
You go ahead and run that clip.
All the world's waiting for you and the power you possess. In your satin tights, fighting for your rights, and the old black, white, and blue. Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. Now the world is ready for you and the wonders you can do. Make a honky dove, stop a war with love. Make a liar tell it true.
He ain't got nothing that I ain't got.
Get us out from under, Wonder Woman.
and Francis. Check that out.
Dick Van Patten. Oh, special guest star.
Bobby Van. I know him.
Change their minds and change the world. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. You're a Wonder Woman.
Okay, so in 1975 on ABC, Wonder Woman shows up in World War II, okay, which is much like what it is in the comics. By the way, if you really want to know some stuff, go look up the creator of Wonder Woman, Charles Moulton, and read all the weirdness of his life. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The man was really got some issues. But anyway, so it did okay. All right. The show did moderately well, but ABC decided that wasn't for them. So they canceled it. And CBS picked up Wonder Woman, and suddenly Wonder Woman is now in the modern world.
Yep.
Okay. And they treated her less as a superhero, as more as a super detective, a la the Charlie's Angels. And it got worse as the series went on into the third season. As a matter of fact, in the third season, they pretty much got rid of Steve Trevor, and she moved out to LA. And Steve Trevor was her boss in the organization that she was with. So it was never a ratings hit, but it was okay. And the reason it got canceled wasn't because of ratings, ironically. It was because Linda Carter decided that she wanted to focus on a musical career after she had a musical special variety show. Okay. The problem is this: her career went nowhere. After Wonder Woman, people pretty much forgot about her until she did this team up show with her and Lonnie Anderson. And even that only lasted one season.
Oh, yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Now, this is also the show that Lyle Wagner left the Carol Burnett show to go do. Okay. So what you had was basically, but this was a huge feminist role. At the time this show was going on, Ms. Magazine showed up and had her on the very first issue of their cover.
Cool.
That's
cool.
So Wonder Woman went through a lot of transitions from the comics. When this came out, it totally revitalized her as a character. And in 1985, they revamped her thanks to George Perez and Marv Wolfman. Okay. Just a side note, George Perez is very ill and has pancreatic cancer. And those of us in the comic book community are hoping for his full recovery. But it doesn't look promising. But Wonder Woman started a trend. Superheroes suddenly became really cool. And how could they not be? Now, here's a special effects question for you guys. How did they do the bullets and bracelets thing?
How do they do the bullets and bracelets thing? Explosive sparks from the bracelet? I don't know.
Well, you're actually far closer than you realize. If you watch carefully, and we're going to show it in the next clip, whenever she would deflect it, she'd always have her arms crossed, and she would flick it, and her hands were always in a fist. And if you watch carefully, she triggers a button with her thumb that lets loose the explosion on the bracelet.
Awesome.
So go ahead and run clip 4B. You're going to love this. This also became a favorite of everybody else's as they did this part.
Woo! Yeah, baby! Woo! Do it again! Do it again! Hey, people. Give me your wallet.
You must now tell the truth. You are working with the Falcon, and he's working for the Nazis.
Yes, I am.
Where is the Falcon? You know he's very dangerous. You must tell me, please. Where is the Falcon?
Okay.
I love her. I love her. I love her.
So in the later episodes, we get her scuba outfit where she swims in the full body outfit.
Yes.
We get the same outfit that she wears in that as her motorcycle outfit whenever she goes riding on the motorcycle. She has a cape that goes with this outfit.
Yeah,
and the
baby.
cape is huge. Okay.
Ultimate cosplaying goddess. Yes, baby. I love her.
So
spin for me.
There we go. The spin change actually happened about the third or fourth episode.
Oh.
Okay. And it was quite a thing. Now, here's a trivia question. Who played her younger sister, Wonder Girl? Go ahead.
It's Deborah Winger.
Deborah Winger.
Hey.
Yeah, that was her first role.
That was her first big role. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
She was great in Blade Runner. She was absolutely stunning in Blade Runner.
So as you can see,
Wonder Blade Runner.
I know. I just
That's Sean Young.
Okay.
But what you can see is you can see the influence that Wonder Woman had basically on the modern superhero, even right up into including the MCU.
Yeah.
By the way, how you saw her throwing the lasso, Linda Carter's from Arizona, and she was a rodeo champ.
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
So she knew how to throw a lasso to begin with.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He hasn't caught me yet.
Yeah, well, she's happily married. She's a grandmother now. And, she married some rich banker.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Okay.
and that was 1975 to 1979. 1977.
No.
Something happened
No.
in the movies. I mean, something great happened in the movie theaters in 1977.
Okay.
Okay. Little thing about some farmer on some distant planet, going to destroy a government facility. Okay. And then in the fall, this showed up. So go ahead and run the clip so we can all cringe and be pained now.
Oh, I am so gonna cringe. This oh my god. This ruined my love for this character. Taxpayer out there committing suicide. Can't fly, you idiot.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
So the show started off as a pilot film. That's sort of a made for TV film. And it turned out it was the highest rated for the network that year. Okay. Yet the network was iffy about it. All right. So they ordered a 5-episode run, which basically made it a summer filler. And it was the highest rated show that summer. Okay. Everybody watched it. Then they moved it around, placing it up against competitor shows as a way to draw audiences away from the other show. Okay. They had no real intention of the show succeeding. Okay. And after the second season, they moved the show from New York to Los Angeles, which people still to this day can't understand why, because there's no real high rises in Los Angeles to swing among.
There's a palm tree.
But the problem was they canceled the show because they were terrified that they were going to be known as the superhero channel, the network. They had two Captain America films, a Doctor Strange film, plus they had Wonder Woman and our next show, plus they had Shazam and ISIS on Saturday morning. So CBS had become basically what CW is. Okay. And they decided they weren't going to do this. Now, Nicholas Hammond there, for years denied that he ever played Spider-Man.
Okay. How can you hide it?
Yeah, exactly.
He had a mask on, and we still knew who he was.
But with the success of the latest Spider-Man film, he has now stated he is upset that he was not invited as when they brought in all the other Spider-Mans into that one.
Dream on, buddy. Dream on. Good
exactly. Now, the funny thing is the pilot film, if you can watch it, go ahead and watch it. It's actually pretty good. There is some silliness with the web shooter. Instead of being underneath the glove and clothes like it's supposed to be, it's this obnoxious thing on his wrist that's all white versus the red and blue of the costume. But I remember this. Now, the other thing, the reason that the show got canceled was the fans. Okay. The fans were the greatest things about it. They loved it. They thought it was great, yet they were also the biggest critics of it. Okay.
Don't like anything.
Yeah, pretty much. But but this was a show that was a lot of fun. If they had kept it in one location, I firmly believe this show could have been huge. You know?
I remember seeing this pilot as a kid. I remember when it aired. I loved it. I mean, I loved it. It was about
great.
6 years old. Loved
it. The first season was fabulous. It went real downhill fast in the second season.
And that's what I remember is when it went downhill. And I agree. When you hear there's a superhero movie or a superhero series starting, especially back in that day when they didn't have the special effects to pull off a lot of things that superheroes do, you're going to be excited as all get out. Spider-Man, how are they going to do? How are they going to? And if you look, some of the special effects that they did, some of the stunt work, I should say, the stunt work that they did was pretty impressive. It's only when he was out of that damn outfit that I'm like, oh God, come on, can I change the channel now?
Yeah, it was the first season was actually pretty good. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. The problem was trying to find it. It was bounced around so often you could not find the show. Now, I don't know if the show is available on DVD or if it's available online anywhere.
Well, Terry said, if I can get my mouse to work, said something about that he wore out the VHSs when he had them.
Because what they did was they would take 2 episodes from the series and they would mush them together and edit it so it's now one made-for-TV movie. Okay. Yeah. The problem is that the way they would mush them together, one of them, they had him starting in New York and ending in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
you're just kind of going, what? Wait a minute.
You can see the difference. There's the canyons of New York are now missing, and you see freaking mountains in the background, and
and also the costume changed too when they went from New York to Los Angeles. This had a lot of problems, and it wasn't so much the show itself, was the network. Yeah, the network really got its fingers deep into this one.
Unfortunately, it's something you have to own. You know, as a fan of Marvel-related products and things, it's something you did have to have in your inventory.
Right.
Didn't say you had to watch it again, but as a collector, you should have that in your inventory. So
right. So little story about Spider-Man. Is after this show ended, nobody wanted to touch this. Okay. Then in 1983, a little film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger came out about some guy from the future coming back. I'll be back. And the director decided he wanted to do Spider-Man. James Cameron bought the rights to Spider-Man and would not relinquish them for almost 20 years. Okay. And that's part of the reason why we didn't see a Spider-Man until after he gave up those rights and did Titanic. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. I knew that story, and I was, pissed off with, oh my God, well, X-Men is out now, and Iron Man is coming out, and come on, guys.
And when they did Blade, when Wesley Snipes did Blade, I thought for sure they were going to start releasing Spider-Man films.
Yeah. Which was interesting too, because I love Blade. Blade.
Blade's a great movie.
Yeah. Okay.
All righty.
So in 1977, another show started. Okay, and this was considered the quintessential superhero show for ages. This was this one that it was set the standards for. Yes, Mark.
When I saw the trailers for this on this network, I was old enough. I think I was a freaking teenager, but I ran out at night in the street in my underwear and screamed like a banshee. I couldn't believe it. It's like, how are they going to do this? Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I want to talk to your sister and see if she took any pictures.
Oh no. They would have been Polaroids with little cube flashes. She didn't have the time. I was too fast.
Okay, so go ahead and run this one. This is the opening to one of the greats.
Oh my God, and a great opening too.
Yes.
It's a great opening in itself, you know. So here we go.
Dr. David Banner, physician, scientist, searching for a way to tap into the hidden strengths that all humans have. Then an accidental overdose of gamma radiation alters his body chemistry. And now when David Banner grows angry or outraged, a startling metamorphosis occurs. The creature is driven by rage and pursued by an investigative reporter.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
The creature is wanted for a murder he didn't commit. David Banner is believed to be dead, and he must let the world think that he is dead until he can find a way to control the raging spirit that dwells within him.
All right. Yes.
I have to add how incredible you guys know the soundtrack freak that I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was only one of two incredible pieces of music in that series.
Yes.
Phenomenal. Off the
Yeah.
hook. Yeah.
Okay, so this was brought to you by the man who created V and the Bionic Woman. That was Kenneth Johnson.
Very
All right.
cool.
The producer wanted the Hulk to be green, not red, not green.
Uh-huh.
Stan said, not a chance.
Good boy.
Okay,
That's my bad.
so he put his
That's
foot
my
down hard on that one. Johnson
Yeah.
hated the comic books. That's why this is not comic book related. Okay, now, who auditioned for this role of the Hulk instead of Lou Ferrigno?
Good question. I
He's
cannot.
also a bodybuilder.
Oh, Lou Ferrigno? I mean, not Lou Ferrigno. Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger. You
Really?
know why he did, you know why he didn't get the role?
Accent?
No, come on. Lou Ferrigno's got an accent. Okay.
Yeah,
no, the
that's
reason
true, he does.
is you're not going to believe this one. He was declared too short.
Who?
Arnold.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He really isn't that tall.
Ferrigno is tall. Ferrigno's
Yeah, he
about
is.
6 feet,
Yeah,
six
he's a
feet
big
two,
guy.
whatever. He's a big
Yeah,
guy.
I think
Okay.
Lou is taller than me.
Guess who was originally hired to be the Hulk?
Originally hired?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Wasn't Lou.
Lou Costello?
Richard Kiel.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's a big dude, but he's not really built.
He was
I mean-
fired due to his undermuscular form.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a big dude, but he was just stocky, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. He
A
was
wide
tall, though.
torso. He had a wide torso, but his arms weren't big at all.
No, and you
No.
needed the big arms.
And he had
But-
square shoulders, you know. His shoulders just came
uh-huh.
straight across, you know. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but luckily he went on to other types of fame. Put it that way.
Okay. So now the beauty of this was this show went on for 5 seasons, over 80 episodes.
Yeah.
And
that's a
as you can
long
see
time.
there, it was
Mhm.
it had 3 films, 3 sequel films. And
Yeah.
this was the first of the sequel films.
Uh-huh.
And it
Uh-huh.
brought in and it introduced to the world Thor.
Yes.
Okay. Now Thor in this one was not the Thor we know today. Okay, as in the MCU. This was basically a Dr. Jekyll Hyde thing where they actually had two where you had the human and Thor in the same room at the same time. It was kind of a silly thing. They played off the some of the early Thor comics, but they didn't really understand them.
Yeah.
But they also introduced 2 other characters in the next film that was really good.
Oh my God, you're gonna kill me on this. I don't recall Captain America being in
Nope,
that.
it wasn't Captain America.
I remember
Captain America
Thor.
had 2. Captain America had 2 TV movies.
Doctor Strange.
No,
What?
Doctor Strange had his own TV film.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's probably what I remember seeing.
Nope,
Do you know
it was Daredevil and the Kingpin.
Oh, the Kingpin was in that too? I don't even remember what he looked like.
I don't either, but all I know is that when I talked with Stan afterwards about this, Stan was pissed about it because the mask for Daredevil had no eye slots.
Yes, I remember that. Hey, real quick, we had a drop in our audience, and when we have a massive drop like that, I think we got stung by somebody.
Okay.
And it was probably for that Hulk music, I would think. What did you do before the Hulk? I'm sorry.
I did Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. It wasn't
And
Spider-Man.
there was no Spider-Man music in that, so it might have been the Hulk that did it. So
Hulk or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, usually because our audience are looking at a slight delay by about 20 seconds or whatever, you guys should pop back up after that music is done and over with. So we'll see. Come back if you're gone, because if you're still here, please go ahead and post in the chat room. I haven't heard from Cheryl in a while. Speak of the devil. Great, good. She read my mind. I like this little anecdote that Mike put up, which I did not know.
I wasn't aware of this until I started doing the research.
Wow, that's pretty freaking. That's obviously.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's obviously before his death.
Yep.
But that's interesting. Now that I go back and listen, I hear his voice now. Go ahead.
Now, the funny thing about this show also revitalized Bill Bixby's career.
Yes.
Bill Bixby had pretty much gone away.
Yeah.
The last show he had done was called The Magician.
Yeah.
And it bombed. I mean, I loved it. It was an interesting show, but it was horrible. Nobody to this day remembers it.
I didn't realize that The Magician was before the Hulk.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Hulk totally gave him a career again.
I loved him. And I guess his second biggest claim to fame was probably My Favorite Martian.
I liked him as Eddie's father.
Oh,
of course, Eddie's father.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
I liked him better than My Favorite Martian.
Oh,
but see, those two shows, My Favorite Martian and Eddie's father, basically set a career for him, and he got typecast as this good, guy, whatever. Yeah. And poof, here we are. Yeah. Now he did a TV show, I think, with Candace Bergen or somebody, where they did news broadcasters before Murphy Brown. What I think they did. But the point is the Hulk basically typecast them both for a while too, both him and Lou Ferrigno.
Interesting, very interesting.
So there you have it. Pre-1982, the superheroes then didn't take off until the 1990s. After the Hulk, nobody was really doing superhero movies. They did the Batman and Superman one because Chris Reeves movies was really great, but nobody really did much after Chris Reeves' first two films. They did the Michael Keaton Batman, which I think was in the mid 80s, but again, 89. Yeah. Okay. And what happened? It fizzled out fast. The Keaton, that sort of ones disappeared. It was only when Marvel took over and started doing the Marvel stuff, the Blade and the X-Men and Iron Man. That's when the Marvels and that's when the DC stuff, everything else started skyrocketing. There were lots of other comic book based films, such as the Men in Black, which is based off of a comic book, and others. But on a whole, people did not pay attention to comic book movies until after almost 2000.
Okay. We're still up on YouTube, it looks like.
Okay.
I just want to say about Incredible Hulk, because one of my dear friends, when I was growing up with him, he loved that show. We would go out in the playground and do Incredible Hulk, okay? And they had those pump up muscles,
yes.
That you could buy. And so that show was like a really big deal on the play yard, okay? Just saying.
The critics loved it. The critics thought it was a dynamite superhero show.
We always watched it. It was like Friday nights, I think.
Yeah.
And we at the family always watched that show.
There was an episode I thought that I watched on that was really great. Was he goes to Hawaii, gets married, and then she dies because of some disease, and you see him trying basically to fight back a hurricane, or a typhoon.
Oh my God!
Yeah, but it was a really powerful episode.
The Hulk fight God. That was okay. So Mike just said he got kicked. Hi, Mark and BL. I got kicked out. Can't get back in. Okay. I don't know where you were, Mike. But you know how many other platforms we broadcast from, so you can always, hop another ride on another channel. I hope you remember that.
Now, like I said,
here it is. NBC Universal. We got hit we got hit twice, and we got strikes on that. And yeah, I don't know what the details are. I'm sorry.
NBC. That's got to be.
That's got to be Hulk.
Hang on,
well,
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
CBS, ABC, CBS. They're all CBS.
Everything you did was CBS?
CBS or NBC or ABC. I mean, I don't know where NBC came in.
It says that your video was made unavailable by the rights owner, which is, of course, is NBCU Creative Content Protection.
I wish they'd tell us what they were upset about.
Well, he literally says it was 1 minute and 15 seconds of content.
Who knows?
Whatever that was, whatever that minute is, but that's okay. They'll usually forgive us or pop us back on again. But that's why we got the drop. I noticed the audience drop in there, and it just gone.
Yeah, but
nobody.
So like I said, there was 2 Captain America films. Starring Reb Brown, I think is his name.
Yep,
Reb
Brown.
And the funny thing was that he wasn't Captain America; he was Captain America's son. Okay.
Oh, I didn't pick that up.
Oh yeah. It was in the very first movie. And so what's he doing? He's driving around in a motorcycle with this pseudo plastic shield. Instead of it being red, white, and blue, it's red and clear. So he can see through it, and he throws it like a frisbee, and it makes this bizarro sound. You just looked at it, and even as a kid, I'm just looking at it going, yeah, no, not a chance, And then they did a Doctor Strange one. I'll be honest, I never saw the Doctor Strange one until the 1990s when a buddy of mine gave me the VHS and said, watch this, and I went, oh my God, it's so 1970s. Horror / occult stuff that was famous for the 70s. It's on YouTube. If you get a chance to go watch it. Just be ready for the cringe factor. Okay. Doc Strange has got the cheesy 1970s porn mustache on.
Yeah,
you're just watching it and you're just going, oh, this is so painful. I highly recommend it. And since Rachel has been raised on MST3K, she would love this film because of how bad it is.
She probably would.
Okay. But that's your superheroes pre-1982. I can't say much more. We could talk about Christopher Reeve and Superman. We could talk about Michael Keaton and Batman. But those were the only 2 big ones that showed up in the movie theaters. I don't know. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah.
It was an excellent show.
That was great. I was in the middle of submitting disputes.
No, that's fine.
You brought back a lot of fun memories, Jerome, as little Rose sat in front of the TV.
Yeah, that was a cringe. That was not cringe. I was about to say cringe, but I'm reading something else. But that was a great time for me because special effects were not that big in television shows, short of just explosions.
Yeah, but you didn't care. That was the beauty of it. As a kid watching this, we didn't care.
Yeah, the fact that they brought up such iconic Marvel characters that relied on a lot of special effects in order to make themselves more realistic, such as the Hulk. Hey, somebody help me throw a car, please. Hello. Spider-Man climbing a building. Was calm down. Yep. Was just absolutely fabulous because of the techniques at the time for special effects. So,
well, I mean, our first 2 heroes were DC, Superman and Batman, the big 2,
right?
And to this day, people still remember George Reeves as Superman and Adam West as Batman.
It's a classic show.
Yeah, so. But that's what we got. I'm happy you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun looking through. There were clips that I thought about bringing, but it was just too many choices on some of this.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you remember. Every time the George Reeves Superman, they would shoot, and you'd see the ricochets, and then they would run out of bullets. And so what do is they throw the gun at him, and he ducks.
Right.
I'm always like, why? Why are you ducking?
Yeah. Well, this was a great show that you put on. We appreciate that, Jerome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. every other week we do Classic Television SmackDown. I guess it's my turn next week, right? Or in 2 weeks.
It is your turn. Yes, it is.
And it will be phenomenal, as you know. But this was, of course, Superhero Shows pre-1982, as provided by Jerome. And tomorrow morning, I didn't put that banner up. That sucks. Tomorrow morning, of course, Jerome will be hosting yet another show on Saturday Morning Cartoons. What's the name of that show? Or maybe I did. Is this it?
Nope.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's your show tomorrow, Jerome?
Talk to the Hand. It's the 90s.
Yeah. He decided to go up a couple or at least 8 years to another decade. And that's Saturday Morning Cartoons. And then, of course, tomorrow evening.
I can't wait for tomorrow evening.
To Glamour Queens. Movies we love, but everyone else hates.
Yeah, no Twilight in this one.
Thank God.
If you try to guess with the clues Rachel put on the screen.
Movies we love, but everyone, this should be fun. Movies
I can't see what's that underneath.
It's going to be an interesting one.
Okay, what's this one that says was that SeaWorld?
Yeah, SeaWorld. Yes, that's one of my picks. So
okay.
Yeah, take
what
your
does
best
that
guesses.
got to do? Was there a movie called SeaWorld?
No, but I think I know which one it is.
It's just a clue to the movie.
I know which one it is.
I do too. I know which one it is too. I know which one. Is that lower right? Is that a rolled up sleeping bag?
That is a rolled up sleeping bag. Yes.
Okay. Does that say Dutch Boy Cleaners?
Yes.
Is that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a bologna sandwich?
It's just a sandwich. I think it might be bologna. It's a sandwich it's a sandwich and milk. So,
I don't know that one.
Yeah,
sandwich and milk. Yeah, I don't know.
So should be interesting. We've got a lot of fun. It should be fun.
Oh my God!
Because we're doing
I'm
a little
horrified.
bit different style this time. It should be a lot of people were interested in coming on that unfortunately they could not. First time we've actually had a guest wanting to be on the show, but because it's Saturday night they couldn't be. But maybe next time.
Oh, I'm gonna have to come on a show with you guys on some.
Rachel wants you on the show at some point, Jerome.
Who, me?
When a topic comes up that we think you might have interest in, she wanted to have you on.
Well, she can get in touch with me. She knows how to get in touch with me. So
you are asking for trouble, but I'm glad
that is true.
Him.
Mark is correct.
You're taking him. I want that Batman Visa card up there.
Oh God, I remember that one.
You see, you can already guess what film that is.
That's got to be Clooney, if I remember right.
Oh, watch it. It might be Val Kilmer.
No,
it's not Val Kilmer.
No,
come on, man.
It wasn't Val. It was
Chicks
Clooney.
dig the car though. Chicks dig the car. I'm just saying.
And that was Clooney.
Yeah, that was Clooney. No, it was Val Kilmer.
Oh,
no,
really?
because Clooney had Robin.
No, it was Val Kilmer who
right.
said chicks dig the car. It was Val Kilmer. I'm ready to put money down on it.
You are right. I'm going to concede the point.
Okay.
But Batman had the credit card with Clooney when they were bidding on Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
that's right.
To win a date with whoever.
Arnold was Dr.
Was Mr. Freeze,
Mr. Freeze, wasn't he?
Yeah. Boy, that one really.
Come and watch the show. It should be fun.
7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Everybody to put in their 2 cents.
7 o'clock tomorrow night. Just make sure you're not eating dinner while you're watching the show. You might start throwing food at the screen and saying a lot of.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part 2 to that and get the people who want to be on there. So.
Oh.
But.
Well, that was. I'm trying this out. StreamYard now gives you an option of background music.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have a list of different kinds of, background music that you can play while you just can't find the volume control. So my apologies.
Good night, Mike. Thank you for watching.
Mike leaving.
Mark, you got to get the Wakachu soundtrack so we can get like that porn music going.
I don't. It doesn't give me an option to upload our own yet. So
okay.
But Mike, I don't know where you think you're going. I mean, unless you're going to see Batman tonight. Scale of 1 to 10, Jerome. What did you give for the Batman?
I'd say about a 7.5-ish.
Okay. I gave it an 8 only because I'm a freak. You know,
it's a 3-hour time run, isn't it?
Let me tell you, unfortunately, and this is what's their fault. Unfortunately, you feel the 3 hours.
Yes, you do. You do.
Okay, and remember,
I don't know if I can do it this weekend because that's a long haul.
Well, remember, there's always 20 to 30 minutes of trailers before that as well.
Yeah, I know. It'd be half a day for me, man.
So Karis gave this advice about this film. Okay, you need to see this in a dark theater.
I want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, but if you watch it at home, the lights in your house, or if you watch it during the daytime, you're going to miss a lot because this film takes a place in a lot of dark night time.
Okay, so where I saw it was an IMAX theater, and the IMAX sound alone made me very, very interested in purchasing the soundtrack.
Ooh.
Because I love the soundtrack every time Batman appears. It was just so freaking awesome. So I got to get that soundtrack just because I saw it in an IMAX theater, and it was my intention to see it in an IMAX theater. For something, a movie that epic, you can't go low on this. You really have to go the max. You really do. So
I can't watch IMAX. It hurts my head. But I watch it on a big screen.
If you can, Rose, see it in IMAX.
I'll have to see if our IMAX is back open. So I'll have to take a look. Yeah. But thank you for the advice.
But yeah, you want to you don't want to wait until you watch this on like some streaming service or whatever.
I just won't be able to see it this weekend.
No, that's a theatrical movie. That's one you definitely have to see at a theater. So don't cheapen it up for yourself.
Alrighty.
Now, what is it? AMC, you can get the special Batman popcorn holder.
Yeah, that's my theater. My local theater is AMC, so that's why I go see all my movies. AMC. Yeah, I'm 5 minutes away from it, so I love it. So, hey, guys, thank you guys so much for today's show, for joining us for today's show and experiencing getting kicked off. Thank God it was probably the last one, I'm assuming, but nonetheless, we got through that, so that was fantastic. Tomorrow morning, we do it again, but this time it's about cartoons. So see us tomorrow morning, guys. On behalf of Mark, Rose, and Jerome, we are out of here until we have cereal in the morning. See you later.
Out of the blue of the western sky comes Sky King. As we say here in the West.